Hey, Small Group Network, Kirsten here. I have another blog post for you today, and I am so excited. Just got back from the lobby conference, and I had a fantastic time. And so I thought, hey, why not share some takeaways that you might be able to benefit from? If you went, I hope you're still relishing in that Southern California weather and that you had a great time as well. And if you didn't, then I hope you'll join us next year. But just some 5 quick highlights. And the first one being the world needs small groups. Now, your church needs small groups too. But Pastor Rick Warren talked about this epidemic of loneliness that's taking place in the world. And it's being fueled by the social media false intimacy presence. And so what would it look like if we had this large scale vision of small groups being the antidote to loneliness? What would it look like if our small groups were so rich in relationships and the connections and the intertwined networks were so integrated that it fought against the spirit of isolation? Number 2, it's essential to take time to go from working in your ministry to working on your ministry. There's a difference. The first one, working in your ministry, that's the day-to-day grind. That's what you do on a regular basis. It might be urgent or emergency, or it might just be the weekly rhythms that you have in place or the monthly rhythms. The working on your ministry, now we're talking about long-range planning. Now we're talking about, well, where does God want to take this ministry? Or we're talking about the bird's eye view of small group ministry. Make sure you're taking time to work on your ministry as much as you're working in your ministry. And then the third one, what you put in is what you get out. To the lobby conference, I promise you, if you just go to the lobby conference and you just say, hey, I'm in it for the content, you're going to get great content, but that's all you'll get. You'll be in and out. Whereas I think the next level is relationships. If you go to the lobby conference, look for networks and look for relationships, then you're going to get those. And not only that, but you're going to walk away with a support structure that you can just pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm going through this right now. I need prayer. Could you please pray for me? I know you might be on the other side of the coast, but I just knew that I could rely on you. So then you end up with your local church family and you end up with the small group network family. And they're great people. So if you just came back from the lobby conference, I hope that you'll continue to stay in touch with people. And if you haven't yet, then would you just make it an initial effort, if you go next year, to just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to look for some networking opportunities to be able to build relationships and build structure so that I have other people who I know I can rely on. Number 4, don't let your limited thinking limit your small groups. Pastor Rick Warren talked about how we all need bigger goals. We need exponential thinking. Matthew 9:29 says, according to your faith, it will be done unto you. So what does your faith look like? What are you believing for your small groups? And then number 5, truth is built on trust that's built on time. Steve Gladen talks about this over and over, and he encouraged us all to rethink how we are essentially going back to the basics. I wrote a blog on this about a month ago. It's called Back to the Basics, and it was all on how the Lord had encouraged me to be able to have regular one-on-one coffees with my small group leaders so that I was being intentional with my time and intentional with my trust. So are you being intentional with your time so that it allows for you to be intentional with your trust? And are you being intentional with your trust so that it allows for you to be intentional with your truth? I hope that you were able to join us at the lobby conference this year. I hope that you're able to maintain those connections and to continue to grow and marinate on some of the content that you learned. If you did not get the chance to go to the lobby conference this year, make sure you sign up for February of 2020. You won't want to miss it.